Hello everyone, glad you're here today. My name is Unwana Udoh and my channel is basically based on helping people master their personal finance and grow their wealth. So today's video is a little different. I received a message from one of my subscribers who wanted to know how life is in the United States of America as an immigrant. So if this doesn't pertain to you, you can click off now. However, if you're watching this video, that means this is probably important to you. So I'm glad you're here and thank you for being here today. And I hope you find some value in this video. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So if you're watching this video right now, you're probably thinking of immigrating to the United States. So there are some things that you need to keep in mind when you're thinking of moving down here. So I'm just going to go through a quick list. So this is going to be the first series of videos I'm going to make with regards to immigrating to the United States. So just to give you a quick background, I originally came from Nigeria back in 1992. And I have been here since 1992. I live in the northeastern part of the United States, which right now we just went through a snowstorm, and it's part of life here. We have all the different seasons. So one of the things you need to keep in mind when you're thinking of relocating to the United States is to decide which parts of the United States you want to go to, because you have to take into consideration the climate, the weather. All right, so if you hate snow, if you hate the cold, then you might not want to come to the northeast, which is where we have all the snow and all that. There are other parts of the United States where the weather's great, but if you hate the cold, if you hate snow, then you shouldn't be here. So back to my story. So I came here in 1992. I came here to do my MBA. I got my MBA. One of my previous videos, I did go through my story, how I ended up here. So basically, most immigrants that come here go to school, and after school, most people decide to hang around. What I can tell you is things are different from wherever you're from. So I don't care if you're from Asia, if you're from Africa, if you're from Europe. Every country or every area has its own norms and things that you should be aware of before you relocate to a particular place. So if you are an immigrant and you're trying to relocate to the United States, these are some things you need to keep in mind. That's why I'm making this video, because one of my subscribers requested an insight onto how life is in the United States. So number one, like I said, you have to figure out which parts of the United States you want to immigrate to. So if you like the warm climate, then you probably want to go to California or Florida or some of the southern states where you have warmer weather like Texas, etc. If you don't really care about the weather, then you can pretty much move anywhere in the United States. So some basic things you need to be aware of is number one, in terms of income, all right, you have to find a source of income. So you have to have a job, all right? And some of the things that go with having a job is you have to account for transportation, you have to account for your feeding, you have to account for, the basics of life. Things are pretty much, easy to come by here, but however, things are a little different as well. So I'm going to go through those things for you. So there are certain expenses that you might not have depending on where you're coming from. For instance, like in my case, I'll use Nigeria as an example because that's where I came from. I left Nigeria back in the 90s, but when you come to a different place, there are certain things, certain expenses that you might have to incur in terms of survival. So Um, One of the main things that happens to immigrants when they come to a foreign place is you end up meeting other immigrants that have been here. Probably they came from the same area as you have. In my case, there's a large Nigerian community in the United States. So you probably network with people. What normally happens is, depending on the people you meet, you might meet people who might be willing to help you, to show you the ropes on how to navigate the whole system, because things are a little different. So, for instance, you know, most things are based off of credit. All right. So if you want to rent a house, an apartment, things like that, they're definitely going to pull your credit. If you want to open a bank account, sometimes that affects you as well. So credit is very vital when you come to the United States, okay? Because the whole system pretty much revolves around credit. My full-time job, I'm a banker, so I see this all the time. So, which is one of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel, to be able to help people navigate or master their personal finance and also grow well. So, you want to make sure that you don't fall into the trap of trying to live a lifestyle, because once you immigrate to the United States, the temptation is there for you to try to use a lot of credit to acquire things, to try to impress people. You don't want to fall into that trap. So it all begins with making sure that you stay focused. Okay, you want to, once you navigate the whole system, like I said, this is going to be multi-part series that I'm going to lay out, but this is just a brief synopsis of, in a nutshell, what to look out for once you get here. But I'm going to break things down eventually in my subsequent videos on how to handle your credit, how to handle your finances, etc. So you want to make sure that you don't get sucked into the hype of trying to live up beyond your means. Okay. Number two, there are certain things that you have to also consider. So, for instance, if you decide you want to get a vehicle, like I said, you're probably going to need credit. Unless you have some money saved up, then you can buy a used car. So you have to worry about the insurance. Okay. Since you're new and you're an immigrant in the country, you really don't have any driving history. So now you have to worry about getting a driver's license, getting insurance, which would be probably expensive for you because you're brand new in the system. So these are some of the things that you will have to navigate. Okay. If you plan to move, I'm sure it's like that for any parts of the world, but I'm just speaking in particular with immigrating to the United States. So if you're from Africa, if you're from Europe, I think it's a little easier if you come from a developed country and you move into the United States, unlike coming from a developing country. Like in my case, I'm specifically talking about someone coming from Africa, and in particular from Nigeria. So if you're watching this video, you are probably from one of the developing countries, which is why you're seeing this video right now. So there are certain things you have to be aware of in terms of moving to the United States. Okay, I know the image you see on TV about the United States is there's a lot of crime, there's a lot of racism, etc. Racism exists in every society. Okay, so it's always crazy when people try to demonize America. Okay, no country out there is perfect. All right, but based on my experience and based on my interaction with people here, it's been great. Okay, don't get me wrong, there are bad apples out there, but I've been fortunate enough to have met very nice people who have actually helped me with my career, with my businesses, etc. So even though I originally came from Nigeria, I'm a United States citizen now, so I, hold the US passport. Um, so I'm not just here just trying to tell you things. Um, you know, it's all based on my experience. So if you check my YouTube channel, I have a lot of content on, how to master your personal finance and also grow your wealth. Because at the end of the day, you have to have, the right discipline, okay, to be able to handle your finances, because that's going to be critical in the trajectory of your life, okay, regardless of if you're coming to the United States or you live in Nigeria or in Africa or whatever. You have to have discipline. You have to be disciplined enough to handle master your finances. I have made my fair share of mistakes, all right? So, but we all learn from our mistakes. But it's all about life. It's all about learning. It's all about having the right experiences. So this video is basically for someone who's thinking of immigrating to the United States from probably a developing country, and in this case, probably Nigeria. I know there are people who have YouTube channels from Nigeria and other African, countries, and there is actually someone called Wadi Maya. I've been following him for a while, and basically he's been showing, all the other side of Africa that most people don't see. So sometimes people in developing countries think, the grass is always greener on the other side, until you come over here and you find out that, well, life is actually, tougher for an immigrant when you come over to a foreign country. So sometimes not all that glitters is gold, but if you're focused and you know exactly what you want out of life, yes, America can be a great place. However, there's a lot of temptation, just like everywhere else. But over here, it's a little more. Okay, it's readily available. So if you're not disciplined, you can fall into the wrong crowds and get involved with shady people, end up with drugs, etc. So it is a great place to be. However, you have to be disciplined, okay? I can't stress that enough. You have to be very disciplined, and you have to stay focused on why you are here, all right? Most people have an exit strategy, so you have to have a game plan on what you want to do with your life. Do you plan to retire here, or do you want to go back home once you've made all your money and once you're successful or whatever? So these are things that you have to keep in mind. So this is just going to be a first part in a bunch of series of videos. I'm going to share with you on what it takes to be an immigrant from a developing country and being here. So I hope you found value in this. Please, thank you very much for being here. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and also make sure you check out my YouTube channel for more great content. I know this is kind of like a one-off video for me, but I was just trying to create this video for one of my subscribers who was interested in finding out what life was like as an immigrant in the United States of America. So like I said, America is one of the greatest countries out there. The people are wonderful. There's tons of opportunities here, and I'm sure there are lots of opportunities where you are. So if you're thinking of immigrating to the United States, it's a great place to be. I have no complaints. My kids were born here. I was married to an American here. So, like I said, not all that glitters is gold. Anywhere you go, there's going to be struggles. We all have basic human needs. These are things you have to keep in mind. So make sure you leave a comment for me if you found any value with this. I really don't want to make this video too long, because going forward, I'm going to have more videos on the steps and things you need to take to set yourself up correctly when So leave your comments, share this video with someone you know, and please help spread the word about my YouTube channel. I'm looking to grow and to help as many people as possible. You can connect with me on social media. I'll leave some links down there. So thank you very much for being here, and make sure you check my channel for other great videos, okay? And I'll see you around on my next videos. Take care. Bye bye.